as is very common across the desert regions of the world, it's also common for Rajasthan, that there are several these periods of droughts. There's not a single drop of water, and food is scarce, and there's no water. And so in around 1485 also, there was a long drought. For many, many years, there was no rain, no water, nothing like that. So people were dying, animals were dying, and so on. And I did confirm with geologists and geographers in the University of Arizona, and they confirmed that yes, there was really a desert. There was really a famine and drought in that time period, and that in that extremely disastrous time period, Guru Jambhuvji, who was in his late or early 20s, he was really, I guess, full of reflection, and he decides to sit on a sand dune. And for many, many days, he's sitting in his meditation. We can now call it as meditation, but yeah, he just sat reflecting on the situation. And after many days of this contemplation, meditation, reflection, he came up with some kind of a revelation, some kind of a enlightenment experience, if you want to call it. Mystical experience is what I call here. And then he realized in his enlightenment experience that humans must be taking care of their environmental resources. Otherwise, these famines and droughts will be a recurring phenomenon. And the place where he actually did this meditation is what I show here in this white tomb, marble tomb that Bishnois have built. And that's where he sat almost 500 years from today. And that's where Bishnois meet once or twice a year, and there's a huge fair, mela, where they all combine together. There is a havan that happens there. Havan is a very integral part of Bishnoi culture, by the way, yagya or havan. And so that's where the memory of Guru Jambheshwar is eternally etched here at this place, which is called as Mukam in the district of Bikaner in Rajasthan. I went there in my research, and it was hot summer, but I did make sure that I go inside and do my pranam. There is no murti there inside. Very interestingly, also I think that they don't believe in murti puja. There is no murti inside any of their Bishnoi temples, but there is photographs. There is images of Guru Jambhuvji, imaginary photographs, paintings or portraits of Guru Jambhuvji, but there is no murti. So that's how they do the rituals and puja and havan and so on. All right. So as he came out of this mystical experience, enlightenment experience, he decided to codify his teachings into 29 rules. 29 rules. So as I mentioned, 29 is the word that is connected with the word Bishnoi, 29, bis and noi, 29, bis and no. And then in 29 rules, he uses the word dharam in Rajasthani, ancient Rajasthani language that he used as he preached his teachings. He uses the word dharam to describe how we should protect the environment, because we want to prevent droughts and famines. Remember, that's the origin. He also talks about personal hygiene. So remember 500 years from now, where it's famine and drought and it's desert, but he exhorts his followers that they must take a shower. They must bathe every day. That's first. Now we take it for granted. But imagine 500 years from now, when even European culture did not even have a concept, did not have the concept of taking shower, bathing every day. This Guru Jambhuvji, supposedly, not aware of scientific or Sanskrit intellectual traditions, but in his own way, in his own enlightenment, he decides to teach his followers, his disciples, that they must be practicing personal hygiene. Very, very important, very interesting. They must chant the name of Vishnu. So that's spiritual. So dharam is to chant the name of Vishnu. Dharam is to maintain personal hygiene. Dharam is to protect the environment. And dharam is to practice, of course, do not lie, speak the truth, do not kill, and so on. So usually dharam or dharm is associated with spirituality and morality, but not so much with hygiene and environment, at least not 500 years from now. But this Guru Jambhuvji, Bishnoi, founder of Bishnoi tradition, uses the same word dharam for all of these categories. And that is the main argument that I make in my book, in my dissertation, that dharam is not just spirituality and morality. Dharam has many dimensions. Dharam is taking care of the environment. Dharam is is everything, hygiene and everything. So that is what is that's why I'm highlighting how he used the word dharma for all of these things. All right, now let's keep going. So now this is my translation from one of his many teachings, that if you remember that the divinity resides in your heart, also resides in animals, you will surely achieve heaven. You will not be able to justify the violence when questioned by your own deities. So now again, imagine 500 years from now, where people are craving for food. People must be killing animals in search of food. But this Guru Jambhuvji, strictly prohibits killing any animal for humans, even for human survival. The humans, if they want to survive, if they want to live, they cannot be allowed to kill any animals. So he makes all of his followers strictly vegetarians. And he connects divinity, which is actually Upanishadic philosophy, Vedantic philosophy, Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi and all of that. But that Sanskrit philosophy he is translating into Rajasthani language, and he is sharing that same wisdom to his Rajasthani followers again 500 years from now, without any mention of any Sanskrit text, which is, I think, very interesting. That Vedantic knowledge is not just limited to Sanskrit Upanishads, but even Rajasthani Guru, without having studied any Sanskrit text in original language, can come up with the same wisdom, same knowledge, same Vedantic philosophy. Now, preaching and teaching is one thing, but doing is a different thing. So this Bishnoi Guru Jambhuvji not just taught all of these things, but he also practiced what he preached. So he constructs his hundreds or dozens of water harvesting sites. He constructs several tree gardens and orchards sometimes by his miracles, or sometimes with his disciples. He plants many thousands of trees across the desert. He constructs new animal and bird sanctuaries. Now, all of these things sound very normal for our ears now, that, oh, water harvesting, yeah, we should do that. But again, imagine 500 years from now, in the desert, in the thick of the desert, and now what we now take it for granted as rainwater harvesting. But this guru is doing what only now we are waking up to. So rainwater harvesting he's doing 500 years from now. He's planting trees, so again, in that time period.